How's it going, everyone? I am Jinsula, and welcome to another Pokemon Go raid guide video. Today, we are going to be covering the Dragon and Ice-type legendary Pokemon, Kyurem. Not only is its shiny form available, but it is getting its signature move, Glaciate, which is going to make it an absolute monster in the Go Battle League. This will also be the final legendary raid boss of 2022, so you will definitely want to get this shiny before it's gone. I'm going to be explaining how you can defeat Kyurem and pick up its shiny form. Right, so let's roll the intro and get right into it. Okay, let's talk about Kyurem. So, this legendary Pokemon has an interesting standing with the Pokemon Go community. While many players historically disregarded this raid boss whenever it was out, the case could be made that it is now one of the most essential Pokemon to have. It may not be a standout in terms of either Dragon-type or Ice-type raid damage, but it is a meta Pokemon when it comes to the Master League. There's a specific reason for that, which we will get into later in the video. But for now, let's go over how you can easily defeat this raid boss. Kyurem is a Dragon and Ice-type Pokemon, which is a very interesting type combination that you will not see often. They don't necessarily complement each other really well, as Dragon types don't cover a lot of Ice type weaknesses and vice versa. Kyurem is weak against Dragon, Fairy, Fighting, Rock, and Steel type attacks. It is resistant to Electric, Grass, and Water type attacks. Basically speaking, there are quite a few options you can go with against this boss. Let's go over what the absolute best counters are. The ones you will want to go with include Mega Blaziken, Terrakion, Keldeo, Metagross, Conkeldurr, and Lucario. Now, out of all of these counters, Terrakion and Metagross are going to be the big standouts. Terrakion with the fighting type moves Double Kick and Sacred Sword are going to deal the most damage against Kyurem out of all of the non-Mega Evolved Pokemon. Likewise, Metagross and Lucario are also going to be standouts, mainly because of their Steel typing, since they will resist a majority of Kyurem's attacks while dealing very high amounts of damage at the same time. They are going to be really effective against this raid boss. Now, in terms of Mega Evolutions, Mega Blaziken is going to be your top choice. Now, let's say you are on a budget and don't have a ton of legendaries at your disposal. Well, here are a few options you can go with. Metagross is obviously going to be your best bet, and you can also go with Lucario, Conkeldurr, Rhyperior, and any of the Mega Evolutions that have either Rock type attacks or Fighting type attacks. So yeah, in terms of counters, you can really go with anything, but the ones that I listed are going to be the most ideal. Now, Kyurem with the new move Glaciate is going to be insanely good for the Open Master League. That means, of course, you will want to get yourself a perfect IV of this Pokemon. The number you will want to hit for those perfect IVs are 2042 and 2553 if it is weather boosted. Speaking of which, Kyurem is going to be boosted by snowy weather and windy weather. If you are in the northern parts of the United States right now, then you probably have a snowy weather boost. Hopefully, that will be around when Kyurem hits raids, because the extra levels will definitely be a plus. Alright, finally, let's talk about Kyurem's shiny form. Like every other legendary raid boss that has a shiny form available, Kyurem is going to have a shiny rate of 1 in 20. That means for every Kyurem you battle, your chances of it being shiny will be 5%. That might seem like not a lot, but it's actually quite high compared to wild spawns. Now, this doesn't mean you will be guaranteed a shiny Kyurem if you do 20 raids, but for every Kyurem you defeat, your chances are going to increase more and more. So if you want this particular shiny, that is going to be the trick. Just do as many raids as you can. The positive is that you don't even need too many trainers in order to defeat it. You can go with about 3 to 4 trainers in the raid lobby in order to comfortably take it down. But if you want a challenge, you can go with just one other trainer, as long as both of you bring the right counters that are at least level 40. Overall, I don't think you should ever ignore Kyurem, especially with the introduction of the Charge Attack Glaciate. Since this Pokemon now has a ton of relevance in the Go Battle League, it will most certainly be a must-have Pokemon, and it will be a phenomenal trade chip. You should definitely keep that in mind, especially if there is a particular Pokemon that you want from trades. Anyway, that's going to be it for this video. Let me know down below if you have yourself a really good Kyurem. Also, if there was a tip that I missed, then please share it in the comments section and let's have a great discussion. And if you ended up enjoying this video, be sure to hit that like button and subscribe if it's your first time here, and don't forget that little bell so you can stay up to date on whenever I upload videos. And I want to give a quick shout out to my patrons on Patreon. You make this channel content possible. If you want to support my channel in any way, big or small, then be sure to check out the links in the description below. For all my patrons, they get a permanent spot on my in-game friends list. So if you want to interact with me in some way, like with remote raids, then do consider becoming a patron on my Patreon. But yeah, that's going to be it. I'm Jinsula. Be safe, have fun, love yourself, and I'll catch you all later.